Jacob played rookie.
Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leader in rushing, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check me out on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Tim in Green Bay. We got Jacob in Wisconsin. We got Emilio in Tennessee. I'm here in Northeast Tennessee. We got some snow flying. We got about 2 inches on the ground. It's exciting time here. Fire roaring downstairs. Well, is that
I got
not
nothing
enough for you guys?
I'm looking at green grass.
See, Emilio, that's why you need to be up here in Northeast Tennessee and not down there with the local folk in the foothills of the Rockies, if you will. So if this is your first time tuning into PTA, you're probably going, why am I here? This is already off the rails. My name's, like I said, Clayton. We go live daily. PTA stands for Packers Total Access. Obviously, we're covering the Packers on a daily basis. Listen, we're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media members. We're fans just like you talking Packers on a daily basis. So if you're looking for that type of content, you ain't looking for the rigid stuff. You're looking for laid back information, everybody having a good time. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, click the bell icon so you don't miss out on any future live streams. We got 4 topics tonight, guys. Packers extensions. They finally announced. I know there were some people holding out hope that they wouldn't have these extensions. We got others that are getting worried, like, are the extensions actually happen? We got the announcement. We'll talk about that, go around the table with that. A quarterback coach interview as well. Like, obviously, we're looking to fill that void that Sean Mannion just left. We'll get everybody's reaction on this potential interview or hire. And then the Vikings, boys, the Vikings are struggling. The Vikings have officially scrapped their GM. Sounds like there was some bad blood behind the scenes between KOC and the GM, whose name I cannot pronounce properly. Obviously, we'll let you guys take a crack at that. So we'll get everybody's reaction there. If we have time, we may do us a mock draft at the end as well. So let's waste no time, dive into it. The topics, or the first topic of the night, I should say. First of all, I just want to say it's awesome having everybody in here, man. It's so rare we get to do this now. So really, really cool that we got everybody in here to talk about. I know the chat is on fire already. Got a ton of people filing in. Appreciate you guys. Do me a favor, spin those laces, hit that like button for us. Packers announced multiple extensions. So Tom Silverstein tweeted the news out. First I seen of it. Packers announced they have signed GM Brian Gutekunst, Coach Matt LaFleur, and Executive Vice President and Director of Football Operations Russ Ball to multi-year contract extensions. All right, and the official quote from Ed Policy: "We're excited to extend our commitment to Brian, Matt, and Russ as the leaders of our football operations. Their steadfast dedication, passion, and collaboration have remained constant in our drive to compete at the highest level," said Packers President and CEO Ed Policy. Quote, "While we are all disappointed with the way the season ended, we remain aligned in purpose and have spent considerable time over the past weeks collaborating on a path forward. I'm exceedingly confident we have the right people to achieve our goal. The entire Packers organization looks forward to supporting every effort to bring our community and fans another championship that they very much deserve." So you can see here, everybody got an extension, guys. Russ Ball, basically your capologist, right? You got Brian Gutekunst, your general manager. You got Matt LaFleur, your head coach. I would be shocked if this is anything less than a 3-year deal for all 3 of them. It may even be a 5-year deal. I don't know. But just go around the horn. And how do you guys feel about this? I know there's some fans that were hoping this didn't happen. It was a very, very minute portion of the fan base, of course. But Ed Policy, his first move, has taken over here as the acting president for the Packers and CEO. This was the move he made, Tim. You're right there in town, man. How you feeling about all 3 of these hires? Because I feel like all 3 guys have done a good job. But have they been perfect? No, right? No. But when you look around the market, it's hard to find 3 guys that are better qualified, I believe, right now that's on the market anyways.
Yeah, I love this choice and this decision. You know, Ed Policy, the way I look at it, he had, one of 2 choices. You either burn it all out of the ground and you make waves, you make a huge move as the president, or you keep the core intact and we shake things up everywhere else, get some new blood in here and move forward with the core group and the core vision. And I for one love it. You know, I'm a big fan of Tupac LaFleur. I've been a big fan of Goody, and obviously, you know, when it comes to Russ Ball, what can you say? The guy works magic. So I'm happy, man. You can say what you want. As we formulate this staff, we're going to get, you know, more into detail about who these coaches are going to be, but you kept the core group together, and you know, we can look one direction, and that's forward right now. So I'm happy. I don't know what you guys think.
Heck yeah. Bill, what do you think about it, man? How you feeling about this?
Yeah, no, excited. Like Tim said, everybody kind of had their take on it, and you can have that, still can have that if you're mad at Goody, if you're mad at Matt, whatever. But at this point, that's who we signed up for moving forward for the next 3-4 years, hopefully. See what happens. Goody been with the team 27 seasons. I was pulling this up off Packer. 27 seasons he's been there, 19 playoff appearances in that time. I mean, you know, LaFleur. Obviously, I like LaFleur. He's in his bag a lot. I know we don't love everything, but I think he's a great play caller. And then, like Tim said, Ball, man, what a dog. 38th season in the NFL, 19 with Green Bay. Just unbelievable. And did you want to burn that to the ground? I don't think so. I don't think you want to try to knock that off when you've only missed the playoffs once in 7 seasons. So I'm all for it. I'm happy that it's done. Get it done early, like we said. That way Matt can move forward, get his defensive, coordinator set up, all the other coaches that we're going to talk about, and getting everybody else in line. The offseason started, day after we lost. So we got to get to it.
Yeah. Scared money don't make money.
Jacob, I know we're going to talk about the Vikings here in a little bit, but you're right there on the border. You're in Vikings country. So it's got to be nice to wake up and go, well, we got our 3 guys, and the Vikings are moving on from their GM. Pretty cool, right? What do you think about these 3, obviously these extensions here?
Yeah, I'll save my comments for the Vikings GM for just a few more minutes here. But
what
I'll say,
ready, right?
Yeah. Like Tim and Emilio already said, to me, I think out of the 3, the one guy that makes the most sense to me is Russ Ball. Every single year in and year out, we're like, the cap don't work. Cap doesn't make sense. Cap isn't a real thing. We'll never sign Aaron Jones. We'll never sign Rashawn. We'll never sign Aaron. We'll never sign, and then go down and down and down the list. And then what happens? We actually are to the point where we're able to sign not just our standalone studs, but people that we could actually bring in free season, in the off season, I should say, free agents. And now we're at the point now where if you look at comparison of where the Packers are compared to, let's just say, I don't know, let's just pick like a random crappy team. Let's say the Vikings or something like that. All of a sudden they're in cap hell, and we're sitting here kind of like, sipping margaritas and eating cannolis if you're a guy like Emilio kind of thing. And honestly, all kidding aside, it does make sense to me that Matt LaFleur and Gutekunst both got extended. Like we've said, is this the ideal situation that we all thought we'd be in, that they wouldn't have this many playoff wins or this many Super Bowls? No, right? If we could all set our settings on rookie Madden, we'd all be Emilio. But it's not how the NFL actually works.
You do that, you're going to get your
But to be honest, and again, all kidding aside, they've done a lot. We've asked them to do a lot with a little. Like me and Clayton talked about it. We've all talked about it for years now. Being the youngest team in the league can be a benefit, and the fact of maybe the cap hit and it
Jacob, we muted, brother. Somebody muted.
I didn't do it.
No, it's just the fact more that we actually now have an opportunity to build a franchise with guys that have known how it's done, know what it takes to be a championship team. And if we just add maybe a few more vets here and there, I think that we are very, very close to unlocking ourselves a 3 to 5 year dynasty here.
And that's the thing too that was really, really interesting. We go into the season, you make that trade for Micah. All right, this is year 1 of a 3-year window, and then you have a ton of injuries happen, and all of a sudden people are ready to scrap it. And again, it was a small portion of the fan base, but it's like, what are we doing here? Like, you got bit by the injury bug, right? And everybody was willing to give San Francisco a pass. Well, look at what San Francisco's doing with that many injuries, right? Okay, they lost in the first round too, right? Am I wrong? Ain't that how their season finished as well? So again, man, it's a part of the game. I get it. It's not an excuse. It's a reason. And you got to reset. You got to get a few more veterans in here. You're probably going to have to let go of some veterans, as some of the comments were mentioning here. Let's go to the chat, see what everybody's thinking here. Coach Lynn says, we are so close. I can taste it. It's what we're talking about with that 3-year window. Like, You could go out this year, and I could see the Packers being the number 1 seed in the NFC. That could happen. You get 5, 6, 7 key injuries, and I could see us right back in the same situation. But that goes for any team across the league, especially if you're the youngest roster going into the season. But I'm with you, Coach. I think we're real close. William Herman in the chat says, I'd like to see them reestablish a new core of this team and gut the rest. Let all the free agents walk, then cut Gary, Jenkins, Banks, Jacobs, McManus, Musgrave, and McDuffie. So hold up a minute here. I want to make sure I understand.
Hold on there, player. Hold on.
No play on player with that comment. I mean, listen, you're looking at Gary and Jenkins. I get it, right? Yeah. However, if you cut Gary and Jenkins and you just replace them with the draft picks, you're going right back in with the youngest roster again, and we're kind of, wash, rinse, repeat, right?
You do that, you're going to get your ass kicked in that.
That's correct. Jacobs is where I go, whoa, what are we talking about here? Like, Josh Jacobs is kind of the heart and soul of the team. Josh Jacobs is one of the locker room leaders. Josh Jacobs is one of the best running backs in the game. And when you look at his yards after contact on average over the last few years, to me, it's more of a scheme thing there. It's more of a, okay, Goody decided to go sign Josh Jacobs and get away from wide zone. So Matt tried to adapt the run game to that. It worked last year, not this year, but last year, right? And now teams have caught on, so it's okay. Maybe you need to get back to a little more wide zone boot. Jacobs is staying for me. Listen, I'm okay if you want to move on from McManus. Just don't get mad if next year he's back up to 95% field goal percentage somewhere else, and we got a rookie kicker or an unknown kicker, and we're back down to 78%, 80%.
Well, we have a rotation of young kickers coming in and out.
Been there, Tim.
Yeah, we've been there, done that.
And here's the thing. If you can find me a better kicker, William, I'm on board, man. Please don't take that the wrong way. I don't think that's a bad plan to move on from McManus. I'm just simply saying we need to find that replacement before we just move on and he goes and signs. Because I guarantee McManus would sign somewhere else. I feel very confident someone would pick him up because, again, we've seen kickers getting rotated all year long across the National Football. We've seen it the year before and we were laughing at them. Then we ended up being one of those teams that's like, man, our kicking game's really struggling this year. Musgrave, I can understand wanting to move on. He's definitely not worth a top, 15, top 20 tight end money when he does become a free agent. I think that's a sneaky, I don't want to say need, but a sneaky option this draft. There's a few tight ends that I really like in this draft that I wouldn't be surprised if one of them falls to the 3rd or 4th round. You go get one. I know it's not an immediate need, but that could be kind of okay. Musgrave, as he sells off into the sunset here, and gets a little bit older. And obviously you're going to look to re-sign Tucker Kraft when he's back from that ACL. Now you got another stud that's potentially at Tucker Kraft's level coming in to help you with 12 personnel. I could see that. McDuffie, 1 year left on his deal, right, this year. And I think he's going to be a solid piece of this. McDuffie is dirt cheap. That's why I'm saying, man, why would we want to get rid of him? To me, that doesn't make.
Especially if we're going to let Quay walk, right? Quay's going to test the market, right? McDuffie is going to be the closest thing you have to veteran presence in your linebacker room, at least in the middle.
Absolutely. And as far as Banks, I kind of brushed over that. But with Banks, it's interesting because you could go post June 1 and free up $18 million. You got to carry that cap hit until June 1st. So it doesn't really help you this free agency other than shuffling things around and knowing where the money's going to come from later, right? But if you just cut him outright pre-June 1, you're only freeing up $4 million. Now, I do not think he's the answer at left guard, so I can get on board with moving on from Banks at a post-June cut. I can. Jenkins, I think you cut him, free up the $20 million, let him test the market. If you can get him back for 10, great, right? But if you can't get him back for 10 against the cap, then you move on. The problem is you better be willing to spend some cash, some cheddar in free agency like Linderbaum, someone like that, and let's go in and fix this offensive line. So I think it's a fascinating point you made there, William. I don't agree with the whole thing, but I do agree with a good portion of it there.
He's got he figured it out though. Somebody just highlighted it right here.
Like Quay and McDuffie walk, go sign Bobby Wagner.
See, that's the thing. McDuffie doesn't have to walk,
right?
And McDuffie was your other than Edgerrin Cooper was your highest graded linebacker this year. So it's like keep McDuffie, Tyron Hopper, obviously Edgerrin Cooper, then go get Bobby Wagner. You know what I mean? And
get a year out of him or 2 years maybe. Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be Bobby Wagner, but just insert whoever. I'm telling you, man, Devin Lloyd has got my attention big time with that passer rating when targeted. Had a hell of a year this year. Not as good in the run, but passing, man, phenomenal.
Yes.
So, again, that's just kind of a quick glimpse into everything that they decisions they got to make, and they got to make them quick here, man. If we're going to do restructures, that'll most likely probably happen somewhere between mid-February, like February 15th-ish. So if you guys are watching this video back later, let us know in the comments, how do you feel about those extensions? Do you agree with all three? Do you disagree with all three? Do you agree with one or two, and maybe not a third? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, click the bell icon so you're notified when we go live in the future. One of my favorite things to do is to hop in the comments and have a conversation with you guys after the show's finished, right? And these videos upload later and edit it out. So look forward to seeing that. All right, let's move along to the next topic here at hand. And the Packers have set up an interview. Hopefully no news has broke while we're live here, but obviously we got a quarterback coach spot to fill in here, Emilio. I don't know how excited you guys are about replacing Sean Mannion. I think he was a heck of a coach. I think he was an up-and-comer. Obviously, he was highly touted across the league. I think it's hilarious that in one hand people are saying Matt LaFleur is a horrible coach, yet everybody he hires seems to get jobs all over the league, right? And he obviously kind of handcrafted, hand-molded Jordan Love into the quarterback that he is. He's had success with quarterbacks. He's had success with hires, obviously, Jeff Hafley and everyone else who's getting poached off of the team here. So with Sean Mannion obviously taking the job there in Philly, they have requested an interview with Cardinals pass game specialist Connor Senger, I hope I'm saying that right, or Singer, for quarterback coach. You're going, who is this guy? It's another Wisconsin kid. Boy, they're really staying within the state, and I think that's exciting. Easton Butler is where I seen the news from. He had tweeted it out. The Packers will interview Cardinals pass game specialist Connor. Is it Singer or Singer? Have you guys seen it? Singer, I hardly know her. What is it?
I'm going to go with Singer.
Singer? All right.
Like a cross between both of them, right? Singer or a Sanger?
Sanger. All right, let's go Singer. All right, Connor Senger. Somebody help me out in the chat here. For their vacant quarterback job, quarterback's coaching job, obviously is what he's talking about. Per Tom Pelissero, Singer is a Wisconsin native in Milwaukee for high school, attending both Wisconsin and UW Oshkosh as a quarterback. So you got a Milwaukee guy. I know we got a lot of people watching in Milwaukee. That's exciting, right? Mike Z in the chat says, I grew up in Appleton and saw this guy play. He was legit. Good stuff, Mike. Appreciate the inside information there, sir. And then it goes on to say, Connor Senger is an ascending offensive mind and a Milwaukee native who is currently a top candidate to become the Green Bay Packers quarterback's coach. January 30th, it reported that the Packers and the Buffalo Bills have both requested interviews with Senger following the departure of Sean Mannion to Philadelphia. Below is the chronological order of his playing and coaching career. So we'll try to rattle through it real quick. Playing career, he was a highly decorated dual-threat quarterback in the state of Wisconsin before transitioning through the collegiate ranks. In high school, he attended how do you say that, Tim? Pius.
Pius High School. Shout out Pius High School. Yeah. My cousin graduated from Pius.
Making sure I don't get canceled over here.
I didn't say it.
Yeah. Pius High School in Milwaukee. He was a 3-year captain, throwing for 4,564 yards, 37 touchdowns, while rushing for 2,190 yards and 39 touchdowns. This dude's a dog. Give him a damn helmet. University of Wisconsin for 2013 and 2014. Joined the Badgers as a walk-on quarterback. He was named the Offensive Scout Team Player of the Year in both 2013 and 2014. I did not know that. That's pretty wild. UW Oshkosh from 2015 to 2016. He transferred to the Division III powerhouse to finish his playing career. He helped the Titans claim the 2015 WIAC championship and was part of a team that reached the D3 national championship game as well. Now, shifting over to his college or his coaching career collegiately from 2017 to 2021. Singer's coaching rise began immediately after graduation, where he earned a reputation for quarterback development. UW Oshkosh in 2017 served as a quarterback's coach. He mentored Brett Casper, who won the Gagliardi Trophy, the D3 Heisman essentially that season. So that's pretty wild. Carroll University in 2018, he served as quarterback's coach and camp coordinator. Then he went on to UW Whitewater in 2019, served as a running backs coach. He helped lead the Warhawks to the Division III national championship game, also known as the Stag Bowl. and then went on to North Dakota State from 2020 to 2021, served as the offensive quality control coordinator. He was part of the staff that led the Bison to the 2021 FCS National Championship. We're almost through it, guys, I promise. Coaching career, NFL, 2022 to present. So he started with the Cardinals. He joined the staff as a part of Bill Bidwell Coaching Fellowship, assisting with the quarterbacks, then got on full-time there in 2023 with the Cardinals. He's promoted to offensive quality control coach under head coach Jonathan Gannon. So there's the ties there. Arizona Cardinals promoted him to assistant quarterbacks coach. He worked closely with Kyler Murray during his successful return from ACL surgery. And then in 2025, he was promoted to passing game specialist under his guidance. Arizona's passing attack ranked in the NFL's top 10 for much of the season. This is what's really cool. We just got through talking about the East-West Shrine Bowl. It just wrapped up, right? He served as the offensive coordinator for the East team, calling plays just days before his interview with the Packers. So he got a really, really good look at the East-West Shrine Bowl, guys, and obviously was the play caller there. The thing that sticks out to me, dual threat quarterback at heart, a little bit of running backs coaching experience, Jacob. Obviously, he's worked his way up from the absolute bottom of the ranks, Division III, spent a little bit of time at Wisconsin, goes on to North Dakota State, and then bang, gets his opportunity, like I said, through the Bill Bidwell Coaching Fellowship Program and hasn't looked back. I would be okay with this as a quarterback's coach, Jacob. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, I would be too. You look at what the type of resume he has. We talked about it earlier today, how you want guys that are a little bit kind of up and coming, that still have kind of been around, had the experience. I'm willing to have a glimmer of hope for anyone, because if you guys remember when the Hafley signing came, a lot of us just looked at each other like, what? Who? Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, we see what kind of that came to fruition. And so I'm not sitting here. We talk about it every single time we open up this podcast. We are not experts. We're not analysts. We're not insiders. We're not this. We're just guys kind of read through the tea leaves and try to figure out what's good. But if you look at a guy that's kind of come up types of things, it just seems that we got to give him the benefit of the doubt before we have any chance to try to naysay him.
Gotcha. Got it.
Yeah,
I want to get your take on this. And so it looks like when we play the video clips, Tim, I hit that last one. There's a delay on the mute for whoever's talking, and then it mutes them randomly. So obviously that's a StreamYard thing. So just so we know, that's what's up in there. But Emilio, how do you feel about it, man? How do you feel about this potential hire?
Love it. That's a great option. Looking at the North Dakota State 20 to 21, who was there at that time? Christian Watson, right? So you got a connection there. I think that you've got somebody that you can rely on. NDSU at that time was a lot more running, a lot more run heavy than they were past. But you look at it and say, hey, the guy's a quick riser. He's gone from, one step to the next step, progressing, getting better. All those things are what you're looking for in a coach. And at some point you do have to take a chance on somebody that doesn't have, quarterback coach or offensive coordinator next to their name, so you're going to have to give somebody a chance to make that happen. I think he's a perfect guy for it. Hometown kid, you get that kind of feeling of wanting to do everything you can. Probably grew up loving Green Bay, gone to games, been to Lambeau, all that stuff, knows the history, and you just kind of got to embrace that.
Yeah. Tim, how do you feel about it, man? And we're going to get to Joe Trev super chat here in just a second.
I mean, I think anyone that's been following along with any kind of, attention focus the last couple of years, I think we all knew that Sean Mannion was going to be on his way up in ascending to bigger and better things. We didn't think we would have him forever as our QB coach. And, honestly, like Emilio said, you got to put your best foot forward and you got to act quickly. I think this is a great interview. I think this is a great option. Otherwise, we got to convince Coach Clement's wife to let him come out of retirement for the 100th time and be our QB coach. I like this move, right? Emilio hit it on the head. He's a Wisconsin guy. He understands the culture and he knows the game, both as a player and a coach. So I love this move, honestly. Hopefully it ends up being a hire,
Yeah, again, I would be okay with it. Would I like someone with more experience in the NFL? Absolutely, right? And here's the other thing. You've still got Luke Getsy in-house to the best of my knowledge. I think it would be ideal. Remember how we did with Tom Clements? Remember how Tom Clements was the quarterback's coach and Sean Mannion was like his second in control there? What I would like to see is Luke Getsy be the quarterback's coach and then have this guy come in and be kind of his right-hand man in training, if you will, right? I think that would be a great move. Now, they obviously – you don't have to worry about a lateral move because he's not with the Cardinals. They scrapped that whole coaching staff when Jonathan Gannon got fired, so you don't have to worry about the blocking there. So that's what I would like to see personally. But Joe Trev with the Super Chat, thank you so much. Why not Joe Lombardi as quarterback's coach? You know, it's one of those things, Joe. I would be very interested in Joe Lombardi too. I mean, if anybody doesn't know, I think that's the grandson, right? That's the grandson of Vince Lombardi, who's a coach in the National Football League. If you see the old clips of Vince Lombardi's son holding Vince's grandchild, and he hands him over and he goes, "Big Joe, there's Big Joe." He's talking about Joe Lombardi, the coach, right? For that purpose, I would absolutely love it, Joe Trev. I would, man. But if you removed Lombardi and put Smith, I'd be like, what's he really done? Other than he does have more experience than obviously the candidate we're talking about right here, right? And our boy Connor Senger. So with all that being said, I try to remove biases like that to make a decision. Joe Lombardi's definitely got more experience at the NFL level. Obviously, this kid doesn't have much at all, but maybe that's what you need, a little youthful injection into the coaching staff too. But What do you guys think about Joe Lombardi? Would y'all be okay with that?
I mean, in comparison, I think, you're looking at, we always talk about specialists, like when it comes to players, but your position coaches are specialists too, and you want experience, but you also need a guy that can be a quote unquote quarterback whisperer. And you need a player's coach in a lot of these roles when you're, directly taking the helm and molding the future of our quarterback room. So I'm not against, a guy like Joe Lombardi being an option based on experience. And of course, your heart. It's a familiar name here in Green Bay, Lombardi. But at the end of the day, man, I want someone that's going to get the best out of our players, and new guys in the room, get the best out of them too. We don't know who our backup's going to be. Malik's going to hit the market. He's pretty much gone. So it's J Love and whoever the hell else we bring in here. We got to nail this hire and make sure that the quarterback room is in good hands these next couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right. So there you go. Appreciate the super chat there, Joe. You're the man. If you guys are watching this video back later, let us know in the comments. How do you feel about this potential hire here? Obviously, it's just an interview at this point, but I think they're very, very interested. Also, they're going to be kind of, I don't want to say a bidding war, but you're going to be competing with the Buffalo Bills over Connor Senger as well. So let us know in the comments, how would you feel about this hire? Make sure you hit like, subscribe, click the bell icon so you don't miss out on every live stream moving forward. Y'all ready to talk about these Minnesota Vikings here, boys? Y'all want to get a little division rival talk going? Are y'all okay with that?
Yes.
Always.
Anytime you get a chance to laugh at these guys right here, you know what I'm saying? Which, by the way, got to give a shout out to our buddy Jacob Morley, who created this image. We'll show you the tweet here in a minute, so you guys can go give him a follow if you aren't already. So breaking news, the Vikings are firing GM. How do we say it, guys? Help me out here.
Kwesi Adofo-Mensah? I'm just guessing.
I would have said it.
Yeah. I'm going to call him Kwesi, all right? I'm just going to call him Kwesi. So, Kwesi, he's out. You guys know this was the analytics dude, right? This was the guy that was all Mr. Analytics, and he's going to come in and revamp this team, and Vikings fans were over the moon about it. Bang, Diana Rossini tweeted out, breaking, the Vikings are firing GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. A source tells The Athletic. She was the first I seen to break that news, so obviously he is out as the general manager. Boy, this comes, I mean, it seemed like it was just yesterday, Emilio, just yesterday. We were going into the offseason, and Vikings fans were at an all-time high. J.J. McCarthy is going to be the freaking truth. This dude is going to be the best quarterback in the draft. We got the guy. Everybody else passed up on the winner. And, of course, Nine showed up instead of J.J. McCarthy, and that was not a good thing, right? So with all that, Emilio, I think there's a little smoke behind the scenes here. I'm going to get Tim's take on this as well. Shout out to @Matt_FRA_, okay? And this got a lot of traction. I believe there was truth to it. You guys do your own research. I think this was being reported at multiple places, but again, you never know on the interwebs. Here's what it says. Per a source inside the Minnesota Vikings front office, General Manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and head coach Kevin O'Connell were not on the same page with the direction of the team, and their, quote, typically would be fireworks, end of quote, between the two. The same source said the entire front office wanted Sam Darnold back in 2025, but Kwesi did not. Also, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah typically did not attend the Senior Bowl, Shrine Bowl, or any college games, which is very rare for an NFL GM. I remember that being reported because, Emilio, hey, I can do that stuff from home, right? I don't need to go down there and look a prospect in the eye. I don't need to do an interview, right? It's just
and just look at the numbers.
It's all spreadsheets and numbers, baby. Who needs the tape, right? Who needs any of this? Just look at the numbers. So, obviously, this a complete crash and burn for the Vikings organization as they're going to start over with general manager, and really what it does too here, Emilio, it's kind of like the Buffalo Bills. I don't know if you've seen where they came out and talked crap about one of their receivers without, like they didn't even mean to talk crap about it. It was like, well, the coaches were the ones that wanted him. And it's like, he's still on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that locker room feels about them being so open about criticizing people? It's kind of a little bit of what you get here. Those players in the locker room have got to be looking up going, so KOC didn't like the draft class? Like he doesn't like me, doesn't like us? A little bit fractured, sounds like, for Minnesota. What's your all's take on it?
Yeah, fractured is exactly how I would put it, because like Jason Y was saying here, timing's indicative of a poorly run franchise. Who's doing the draft? It's not like you just have something coming up. It's not like the season's kind of going and you're on autopilot at this point. No, we got a lot of work to do. And, Tim just marked it here, right, Coach? Kwesi was literally at the Senior Bowl yesterday, and now he's fired. It's a cold world. Maybe too little too late.
That's what I was thinking. Like, oh, yeah. I'm here, guys.
Right. It's like, yeah, I'm going to save it. No, he got the call as Tim gets it back to the apartment last night and said, not good. You're not coming back. And, I remember, was he the one in the video with Justin Jefferson when he was dressed up to take the photos?
I think he might have been.
Was that who that was? Yeah. And it's like, dude, I appreciate Justin Jefferson going through all that work and taking, it was funny. But, dude, I never even seen Goody outside. He goes to the podium one Wednesday in like September, and then literally we don't see Goody basically the rest of the season unless he's in the box once in a while.
Yep.
Like the dude is just, nose to the grindstone. So I don't know, man.
I think him owning the decision to move on and move forward with JJ McCarthy, that's the death spike for him. The writing was on the wall, and I think today we just found out what a lot of us probably suspected. I'm not completely shocked at this. That was probably the last straw, I think.
Tim, do you think it's
you got Sam Darnold playing in a Super Bowl?
I was just going to say, where would the cutoff have been? Like if Sam didn't make the playoffs, they probably still have the job. If, maybe the first round.
Right. Yeah. Or like maybe if they moved on and JJ looked good this year and, the Vikings were in the mix and, Seattle didn't do what, obviously they did, maybe it'd be a different story. But, like Clayton says, hindsight's 2020. And right now the hindsight is right at the foreground and we can see the results. So I think ultimately, if everybody else wanted to stick with Darnold and he was vocal as the GM about moving forward with 9, that's kind of what did you in, I think, as a GM. That and looking at spreadsheets all day and, not really going and making appearances with your scouting department.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of everything. Like you swing and miss on what you thought was the franchise quarterback, right? And if the rest of the room is divided about it and you're looking around going, okay, so it's all about you. You've got all these scouts hired. You got all these assistants hired, and they're giving you information where all their hard work is. It's telling you, here is the pick. Here is what you need to look out for. Here is the guy you need to take. Not that you're going to pick one over the other or anything like that, but the fact that it sounds like the majority of the room disagreed, and your ego is, well, these guys don't know what the hell they're doing. You hired them all. So if they don't know what they're doing, that's on you too, So I don't know, man. It's really strange how in some places GMs get scrapped so quick, and in other places it's like they can hang around forever and not really be held accountable. There's a little bit of that going on in the league as well. But when you look how this roster was constructed, and as soon as they moved on from Sam Darnold and everybody started picking them to be great this year, I was like, we don't even know what JJ McCarthy is. Like, what you remember us having that conversation, Emilio? It was like, you guys are making it sound like this is a slam dunk that the Minnesota Vikings are just going to run away with the North, right? And JJ McCarthy, and I'm like, you've got a first-year starting quarterback. He was hurt his whole rookie year. That ain't a good sign. I think we would all agree. So you're going to thrust him in. You're going to thrust him right into the starting role and put the franchise.
He's going to win another 14 games.
Yeah, And then you got Sam Darnold, who just showed you what he is and what he has, right? And they were just kind of banking on. I think this was them, and more, specifically the Kwesi here. Let me show you guys how smart I am. You think it was Sam Darnold? No, I can replace him like that. Mm-hmm. Now you got Sam Darnold going to the freaking Super Bowl, and your ass is out of the job. That's just a wild place to be, man.
Yep. Yeah, thinking that they got a comp pick for him, right? So it's like, oh, I can turn that into my next quarterback or the next player for JJ because I picked our franchise QB. And I remember everyone was talking. It's like, can JJ play quarterback? I mean, all he did his senior year was hand it off. It basically what everyone was saying. And if you can manage the game, that's key. But the man, where they're heading, it's just brutal.
Yeah, it really is. United Bates says in the chat, I think Kwesi is more of a financial guy, maybe better in a Russ Ball type situation, not the GM. That could be the case, right? Maybe someone he's really good at kind of obviously working the numbers and putting tough puzzle pieces into place. But in terms of running the whole thing, it's obvious that the ego really got the best of them there. J. Cole in the chat said these analytic guys think they are the smartest in the room. It's just like the whole going for it on fourth down. If you guys watch this show all year long, you guys, we break down Chalk Talk. We do post-game shows. We do everything. And one of the biggest knocks I have are these coaches that continue to lose games for their team just going for it on fourth down. And it's like, well, the analytics say you need to. The analytics say you need to.
You do that, you're going to get your ass kicked in that.
We seen it just the other day, didn't we, Tim? Like in the Denver game. It literally cost the Denver Broncos a chance at the Super Bowl. The analytics does not take into account the snowy conditions and how effective or ineffective your offense is at the moment, right? You could tell points were going to be at a premium, especially it wasn't like that snow snuck up on us. Everybody knew that the forecast was saying second half, this is going to get nasty. Take every freaking point you can get in that scenario. Of course, Tim, I'm a boring fan, man. I want every point regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me the 3 every time, and then at the end of the game, if we lose by 4, I can live with that. What I can't live with is losing by 2 and we passed up on 3 field goals.
Yeah, and how many times did we do that in 2025, right? How many games should we have won that we lost because we didn't take points? And that's where, heat of the moment, that leadership comes into play, whether you're the head coach, the play caller, or whatever. Obviously QB1 and your offense is going to want to stay on the field, and they're going to scream at you and say, hey, we can get it. You got to put your foot down and send your kicking unit out and get points on the board, man, because it's not just, the Packers season. I mean, look across the NFL last year. There were a lot of one-score games, a lot of games that came down to the wire, and a lot of those decisions where, you look like a genius if you get it. You look like an idiot if you don't, but you never go wrong taking the points. I'm with you, Clay. I can deal with a block kick or, a doink off the crossbar. At least we're attempting to put points on the board rather than, all gas, no brakes, so to speak,
It's like, how many times do you rage quit Madden because you went for it on fourth down in your own territory? You know what I mean? It's like, it's 4th and 13. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get it. And then you're down 14-0. It's like,
I need to do the dishes any day.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on finishing that game anyway.
Exactly. J. Cole in the chat says, what does logic say? Screw the analytics for now, right? And again, this is what Michael Lombardi and some of the other former GMs and coaches in the league would always say, is the analytics isn't going to tell you, the momentum of the game, all these things. It's just like as if every situation is exactly the same. And that's just simply not the case. Mike Z with the super chat here. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you. The league is so reactionary nowadays. Are we even here if Darnold isn't in the bowl? Talking about the Super Bowl, I think not. Every play, every call counts. I think that's a great point. Like, if Sam Darnold is not playing in the Super Bowl, this probably doesn't blow up to this level, is what Mike's saying. I think I agree with that. It's wild how other teams can have such a determining factor on your franchise, just looking across going, damn, I can't believe we let him walk out of the building.
And also don't absolve JJ McCarthy from his play as a starter, right? If he would have played a little better, this would be a different story as well.
Yeah, definitely. So Mike Z, thank you for the super chat. If you guys are watching this video back later, let us know in the comments. How do you feel about the Vikings? If you're a Packer fan, I'm sure you're loving this. If you're a Viking fan, you got something to say about this. Maybe you disagree with what we said. Maybe you thought Kwesi was the guy and you disagree with the team. Let us know in the comments how you feel. Everybody make sure you hit like, subscribe, click the bell icon, and help the channel out. We greatly appreciate it. All right, boys. Y'all got a mock draft in you? You got a quick mock draft in you? How do you feel about that? We all right with that?
I'm ready.
Tim looks hesitant. I don't know if Tim's
I'm
ready.
feeling like Ben Johnson right now.
Get ready to go.
Well, let's do it. All right, we're gonna do a mock draft, guys. 4 rounds.
Speed round.
Do this. What's that?
Well, speed round mock draft. 4 rounds.
Absolutely. And
3 picks.
I got the draft board pulled up too. All right, so we're good to go on that. I can give a quick reference here. One thing that we did it, taking a center first. We did it taking a corner first, right? What if this time around we try to lean into 3-tech? How do y'all feel about that? You want to see if it makes sense? We don't have to draft one, but let's try to lead with, all right.
Yes, let's trade up for Christian Miller. Let's go.
I'm not trading up, Tim. We got to do it at 52. But let's see if we can make a case for, all right, if this 3-tech falls, we're in good shape. That makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's start this thing. And everybody say a quick prayer for Fernando Mendoza. He's going to be a Raider. Yes, he's a Raider again. It happens.
Good luck, Fernando.
Yeah. Good luck to you, sir. Godspeed. Look at the first guy on the board, guys. Zion Young, absolutely tearing it up at the Senior Bowl this week. My gosh. So the top prospects available here are Zion Young, edge out of Missouri, Keontae Scott, cornerback out of Miami. You got Caleb Tiernan, tackle out of Northwestern, Chris Johnson, cornerback out of San Diego State, and then Jake Golday, linebacker out of Cincinnati. So we're going to start it off by simply going defensive line and see what's there. So at the top of the list, what we have is Dominic Big Citrus Orange. So try not to get too excited in the chat there, Chris. And if you guys will read those names for me, I'm going to pull some of them up on the board as we go here.
You got Darrell Jackson Jr. out of Florida State.
He's my boy. I was going to say that.
Yeah, it's strong.
Skylar Gil Howard, Texas Tech, another guy that we've talked about.
121.
Well. Yep. I think that crop right there,
Jackson
Big Orange.
is 102. I love Jackson. I really do.
Yeah.
It's just a reach, though, isn't it?
It is. Oh, yeah. On PFF and on our board. Our board, he's 102. PFF, they have him 86. And Consensus had him 99. So he's a third, fourth rounder.
Yeah, Halton's 151 is what I'm showing. Regas is 189. Keenan had a couple flashes down there at the Senior Bowl. But, again, he's 157. So what we're seeing here is it makes 0 sense to try to take a D tackle with the 52nd pick, right? I mean, that's a tough place to be. And again, some would say it's not our top need. It is really, really important. Don't get me wrong. But I'm kind of happy that's the case, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there was a stud 3-tech sitting there and we avoid taking an offensive lineman, if indeed we do move on from Elton Jenkins and Aaron Banks, and let's say we only signed one veteran offensive lineman and you're going to have to plug and play a young whippersnapper, if you will, I'll tell you, man, the interior offensive lineman in this draft's got me really, really excited, man. And I don't know, we're going to do a prospect report on Jennings Duncan tomorrow. Bro, this dude, I'm in love. I'm head over heels. You seen that Iowa waterfall that cat's got? Like, he is just a football freaking player. So let's go to offensive line and see what we got here. We'll add it all to the list. All right, offensive tackle, interior offensive line. Let's throw corner in there as well.
Oh, just tight end in there. Just see what's going on over there. Just take an eyeball.
Yeah. So let's see. Are there any tight ends that pop right off the bat? You got Max Clare out of Ohio State. You got Jack Indries out of Texas. And that's the top tight ends. Justin Jolie, if I'm saying that right.
Next Claire we have at 70 on our board.
Okay, so that's a pretty solid pick there at 52. Not too bad of a reach. Where's Zion Young at, Emilio? Because this makes a lot of sense. Zion Young, edge out
27.
27.
Jeez, Pete. 27th overall, tier 1 position of importance. Maybe he can
keep his interior O-line, interior D-line, and we're looking at edge for the best value right here, right?
Yeah, and the majority of his snaps, obviously, he's played outside of the tackle, right? So you're talking about a 5 to 7 to 9 tech, definitely an edge rusher at heart. What's his size? He's sitting at 6'5", 262, so he's not somebody you would kick inside. But, if you wanted to predominantly put LVN inside and let him play a little more 3-tech and rotate someone like Zion Young in, that would make sense, I guess. But let's go down the list.
Colin Oliver and everything. You got kind of a speed rusher out there.
How are we looking on Keontae Scott and Caleb Tiernan here? What do we got on those two guys in terms of where
51, I think 50 or 51, Emilio?
Yep, 50 Scott. For Scott, yep. And then who is it? Tyrion? Tyrion is
Tiern.
Northwestern
61.
60. Yeah, 61.
Gotcha. Then we got Chris Johnson out of San Diego State. He hasn't had a great Senior
running
Bowl
back?
week.
Oh no, the corner.
And then Derek Moore has had a solid performance down there. All right. See where Derek Moore is. I'm going to look at this offensive line. I can't think of how you pronounce it.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, the Chris Johnson. He was a 91 card, not bad. He was pretty decent for a while, but he's 28 on our board.
There you go. So as you
Hey,
roll
pull
down,
up kicker real quick, man. Put the kicker up there.
Exactly. So if we were going to focus on need with this mock draft, obviously we would not be looking at edge. We would be looking at corner and offensive line, seeing that nobody really jumps off the page. Did you look up Derek Moore? Did somebody say Derek Moore?
Sorry. No, that's who we took last time, and he got stood up in the in that one-on-one, and I wasn't happy about it. But I'll take Derek Moore. He had at 58. We had him.
58. Okay, gotcha. So what it's going to come down to here is really Jake Slaughter is probably your best, obviously top center on the board for us. I know PFF's going to show it as a horrible grade. I don't want to go that route again, just to kind of mix things up.
No, if you're talking ranking, it would be Chris Johnson, the corner, then Derek Moore, then Caleb from Northwestern.
But Zion Young will be at the top, though, right?
I
think that what you said.
Oh, Zion, yeah. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean he's the 26th best prospect. If I had to choose right here, let's remove everything. Remember, Zion Young's probably our top pick right now. Let's go interior offensive line. Do any of those names that we really like? There's Bo Stevens. Again, it's going to be a reach right here. We can get one of those guys a little later, it seems. So there's Logan Jones. There's a bunch of guys a little later in the draft. So for me, man, it's definitely between Zion Young or go with a cornerback. What would you guys do here in this situation? How y'all feeling about it?
Don't talk to me because I say take Jake Slaughter right now.
Don't even wait, right, Tim? Just do it. Get it done.
Just get him done. Assuming we don't have a center,
I wouldn't be opposed to taking Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson, okay.
Yeah,
and he is definitely ranked higher than Keontae Scott. Is that right?
No, he is Chris Johnson's 28. Keontae Scott is Zion, right? Yeah, Zion is 27. Chris
Scott is 51.
Yeah. So Chris and Zion are one spot apart.
Gotcha. Chris Johnson and Zion are?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, 27, 28.
All right, let's go Chris Johnson then. We good with that?
Yeah.
I know Tim wants Big Slaughter, but let's go. And the only reason I'm saying hold off on it is because we're going to get a good pick here on the interior offensive line in a second. And again, we took Jake Slaughter the other day. We haven't taken Chris Johnson yet, right? In any of our mocks. So
no.
Let's do it. Let's fire off on it. So we're going to go Chris Johnson. Pick is in. Chris Johnson with our first pick there at cornerback. All right, moving on to pick 84.
4 picks, 2 return for touchdowns, 9 pass breakups, 1 forced fumble, 49 tackles.
And costs way too much in mutt coins over there on.
He does. I'm going to be at this point, though, his card is outdated, so don't even worry about it. Go get the new McCoy from Tennessee card.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So let's see who all is here on the board at the moment. It looks like Jake Slaughter is gone, isn't he, Tim? I'm not seeing him here, sir. Jake Slaughter is long.
This is why I tried to tell everybody to take.
Right.
If I'm going to reach, it's going to be O-line. Let's go.
It's going to be for a reason.
Yeah. So you got tackle Brian Parker. Y'all help me look these up. I'll go. Tim, you go first. Look up Brian Parker. Emilio, look up Sam Hecht, center, Hecht.
Brian Parker out of Duke, we've got at 66.
Hecht 118.
All right, so Brian Parker's the better pick there. Scrolling on down, you got Bo Stevens. Where do we got Bo Stevens at, Tim? And then, Emilio, where do we got Keelan Rutledge at?
Bo Stevens is 78th out of Iowa.
I should just write down Rutledge's number. He's going to be 84.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that every year we get somebody that's like they're always going to be a good value pick right here, right? And we might be able to get him a little later too. So Brian Parker
from the chat is asking for D tackles.
Detail. You want to take a look at the threes? All right, let's do it. Let's take a look at the threes too. I'm going to look up. Read them off.
Oop!
Jackson.
There's your guy.
I did see. Who was it? Somebody in the chat was talking about right here. Jamal. He was saying, I'm an FSU fan. Daryl Jackson is a beast, but never played up to potential. You need to be developed. Not sure I'd take the chance.
Oh, love the inside information.
I like that too.
He's a star player though in college football. Yeah. Come on, so you know what I mean. You got the
and DeMarcus Covington's not gone yet, so
right. That's what I'm saying.
There could be some development going on with a young rookie like that.
So what we have here with Brian Parker is he's the best prospect available according to our board, right? I feel comfortable saying that. He's played right tackle predominantly. What about drafting him, playing him at right guard, moving Anthony Belton to left guard, where he played, obviously he played left tackle all through college. Anthony Belton did. He'd be a little more natural at left guard than right guard. Would that be something that might be the move here if we don't go with a defensive lineman of some sort? Does that make sense? I kind of feel like Brian Parker is the best prospect available here at 84. We're getting him like 20 spots, 20 spots credit here, which is awesome. But how do y'all feel about that? Because Bo Stevens is lower than Brian Parker, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What do y'all think about that?
Where is Darrell Jackson again?
I'm sorry, Bo. Yes, yeah. Parker is a little bit higher. Bo Stevens is 77. Parker is a 66.
Okay.
Can you click on Darrell Jackson? I just want to see how big my man is. He's does it have his
6'5", 337.
337.
Come on now. That's a man right there.
Yeah. Let's look at some of the numbers here too. So starting in 2023, he was a 63, 70, 74. So he has gotten better. Run defense grades through the roof at 81.3. Run stop rate, 8.9% is great. Pass rush win rate, 5.8%. He played in the A gap, 159 snaps, in the B gap, 327 snaps. So he's played more B gap than A gap, which is normal, but typically you get those guys that's played over 100 snaps in a college football season at A gap. They're most of the time a traditional nose tackle. It's just you got a lot more nickel being played, obviously, at the college level. I'm not huge on it, but I can understand how somebody would make that pick. My problem is, what are we doing with offensive line?
Yeah, you're right. And we have Jackson at 102 on our board, right?
Jackson, is that what you said?
Yeah. Darrell Jackson Jr. is 102.
So Brian Parker is significantly higher than him.
Yes.
So
Yep.
I'm going to go Brian Parker here. I don't know how you guys feel about it. What do you think?
I like it.
All right. Let's roll with it. So the pick is in with pick number 84. The Green Bay Packers are going to take tackle out of Duke, Brian Parker II. Probably a Jacob Monk teammate there, I would imagine. So there's a little bit of pipeline there for the Packers drafting Duke Blue Devils. All right, moving on to our final pick here, pick 120. What do you want to see, boys? You run it here. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the show.
Interior O-line.
All right, we're going back to the interior O-line.
Yeah.
Bo Stevens, Keelan Rutledge.
Grab our boy from Iowa.
Hey, where's Pat Coogan? Pat Coogan is lower than those guys, right? Tim, am I thinking right? Pat Coogan is lower than Bo Stevens. I'm actually going to sort my board off to the side by position so we can compare and contrast all of them here. I'll just give you the grades so you can kind of have an idea of where they should be kind of ranked. So at the top of the list, Bo Stevens, we have got a 65.0 grade on. Below him, Keelan Rutledge, 72. So hands down, Bo Stevens would be the best pick. Pat Coogan, we have an 84.8 on him. All right. So hands down, Bo Stevens would be the pick here. You're talking about somebody who's kind of in the 50 to 60 range, and you getting him at 120 is an absolute steal. I expect him to start rising in the mock drafts, to be honest with you. So
I say run the card, because when it comes to O linemen or D linemen from Iowa, I feel pretty good about it. What do you think, Emilio?
Yeah, I like that. Like I said, I think I said that at the beginning before we even had a draft. I'll take pretty much anybody from that Iowa O-line this year.
Let's go.
We got breaking news. We've got breaking news, Tim. Are you kidding me? This Mrs. Green said pizza's in the oven, sir.
Let's
there you go.
go.
No.
Hey, all I did was preheat it, man.
Come on now.
Take care of the rest. Let's go.
Tim said, hell with it. Just draft the punter. I got to go upstairs. All right, we're going to go Bo Stevens here. Anybody object? Does anybody object at all? Or do y'all want to see another position real quick before we take the pick?
Yeah, kicker.
Just take a peek. Where's the top rank? Who's the guy?
Top ranked kicker? I think we know who this is going to be. Let's see.
My boy from Florida, where's he at?
We should have got rid of everybody. Jeez.
Yeah, we're going to have to. My gosh.
All the way down there?
Will Farron out of BYU. He's ranked 400.
No, hold on. Let me get I need Trey Smack. Where's Trey Smack at?
Trey Smack's gone.
Smacking that 57-yarder before the half.
No.
Trey Smack already been drafted. Who took a kicker this early? Surely this isn't true. Maybe PFF isn't as high on Trey Smack as we are. That might be the case, actually. Matter of fact, I don't think PFF had him on their big board.
Wow.
So, yeah, that might be the case.
We got to wait. You know, when they add like 50 prospects at the end, they start adding, they realize that they just missed out on not having the guy there.
Yep.
Right.
Let's look corner. Should we look corner here?
Yeah.
Take a quick peek at corner. Julian Neal, we took him the other day, right?
Yeah.
That's a pretty solid pick, if I remember correctly.
What about Kilgore?
Gotten better every year. Jalen Kilgore, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there you go, 71, 69, 69. According to PFF, it feels like Julian Neal would be the better pick there if you were to go corner again.
Okay, tight end real quick. And Miss Green says, don't you dare draft a punter, Tim.
I said a kicker, not a punter.
No pizza.
You don't need a punter. Daniel Whelan is the
man.
Lifetime contract. Keep him here.
All right, top tight ends. Josh Cuevas out of Alabama. And then let me tell you about Eli Raridan, boys. You guys want to know about Eli Raridan? I watch Notre Dame every damn week. Watch the snap multiple times, right?
Dog.
Overrated. At least at Notre Dame. And you see this sometimes that these guys will maybe not perform at the level you expect at college, and all of a sudden they get to the pros and it clicks, right? So
don't put that name in my mouth right there.
Yeah, Jacob. Sorry, bub. We can't take Eli Raridan. Ain't gonna do it, man. Just ain't gonna do it. So I think we go Bo Stevens. Is that good with you guys?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So the pick is in at pick 120. Green Bay Packers are going to select guard out of Iowa, Bo Stevens. That's a grown ass man. There's three grown ass guy around. There's three grown ass men on that Iowa front that won the top offensive line in the country that are up for the draft this year, man. I would be okay with all three of those guys, to be honest with you. So, again, quick recap. With pick 52, we went cornerback out of San Diego State, Chris Johnson. I got a B+ for that. Round 3, pick 84, we went with tackle out of Duke, Brian Parker the second, got a B- for that. And then round 4, pick 120, guard Bo Stevens out of Iowa. They gave us a C for that, but as we know, according to our board, that would have been an A++ pick with where we got it. 120. If you're telling me that the Packers selected Bo Stevens with the 120th pick, I'm doing cartwheels on the live stream during draft coverage, boys.
I would actually love to see. I might need to come up there for that one.
Yeah, you see me pull a butt cheek up here. All right. So there you go. There is your mock draft. This is what, the third or fourth we've done now, man. The last videos we put out got a ton of views. People are loving them. So I was worried that some people may not like them, but it seems like everybody's getting the draft bug early this year. So if you're watching this video back later, let us know in the comments. How do you feel about that draft? Pick 52, cornerback Chris Johnson. Pick 84, tackle Brian Parker the second. Pick 120, Bo Stevens, guard out of Iowa. Let us know in the comments. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, click the bell icon so you hit all the future live streams.
I was waiting to say because you were talking, but Doug typed it out in the meantime. Good thing we went into the mock talking about DT early, and it just doesn't fall. It does not fall.
No. And again, if you had a first-round pick, it'd be a different ballgame.
Absolutely.
Right? However, if you would ask me, Clayton, would you rather have that first-round pick and draft a 3-tech or have Micah Parsons? I want Micah Parsons. Okay, just be very clear there. So, again, you may want to be a little bit aggressive at 3-tech in free agency. Maybe be willing to overpay a little bit, and then you look up next year if Devontae White. It's mind-boggling, guys. It really is. Devontae White's 28 years old. Yeah. Like, he's 28 years old. I think we would all agree every year he's dealt with injuries. That's not saying he's soft. That's not saying he's made of glass. It's simply pointing out the fact that, hey, maybe it's the way the guy plays. Maybe he plays too hard, right? Some guys are like that. I mean, look at what happened to Bo Jackson's career, right? He literally pulled his hip completely apart driving through a tackle or breaking a tackle, I should say. So
I would agree with that. I'd say Heavy D is a high motor guy. Like if he's on the field, he's a high motor dude. He's going to go hard.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, there you go. Not looking like the draft. We're going to get a 3-tech in. Now watch Goody nab a 3-tech in the 5th round. He'll be a damn dog. That's exactly what would happen, right? So,
Emilio,
you got anything else?
A couple of corners, right?
Yeah. Right.
Well, that's it. I like it. And I like that we're kind of just diving into those first couple rounds right now, just to kind of get our feet set, our eyes peeled. We can always dive into 5, 6, 7 the rest of the time, but you really need to kind of figure out where you're going to be when you're able to pull those first 3 picks when it comes out. Are we going to move up? Are we moving back? Or are we sticking and picking? And right now, as we've stuck and tucked, we you see what's not there. I mean, you get one chance at either a lineman or a corner, and that's so far pretty much it. We're not really diving into backs, wide receivers. Don't think we need that. Maybe Goody goes out on a limb, finds a linebacker he likes, and get somebody then just because. But it's I'm not mad at that draft though.
Yeah, I thought we had breaking news because of a comment in here, and then I
didn't say it because I figured you were.
Yeah, it's not breaking news. Don't appreciate people doing that to us, man. You know how stupid I am. I'll put on the I'll put that. You know what? I'm gonna put it on the screen just because I like the profile pic. All right.
Damn.
Ike Turner down there. Joe Trent said breaker. Packers are hiring Mike Ball to be their new offensive line coach. I would love that hire actually, but I don't think that's legit.
I don't believe that's real though.
Yeah. That sounds like fake news there. So, all right, that's it, guys. We're out. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Had a bunch of people. Do me a big favor before you jump out. Spin those laces for us. Hit that like button for us. Hit subscribe. Click the bell icon. We greatly, greatly appreciate everybody jumping in here. It's so cool we can get in here and have almost 400 people watching a live stream on January 30th. Just talking, making fun of the Vikings and talking a little draft, right? It's just absolutely awesome. So Vikings are going to Viking. So appreciate you, Tim, Emilio, and we'll reach out to Jacob. Jacob got frustrated. The internet was getting laggy and everything. So hate that he wasn't on the full show. Love that dude. Love him on here. But it is what it is, man. You got to get that intraweb fixed. You know,
got to get the squirrels off the line, Clay. You know what's up.
Yeah, believe me, I've.
You think God never farted?
I got the extension cord running out of the holler here, man. Believe me, I know all about it, dude. All about it. So, all right, we're out, guys. We'll be back tomorrow as news breaks and anything and everything in between. We greatly appreciate everybody joining us tonight. You guys are awesome. Thanks to everybody in the Patreon group. If you guys want to support what we do here at PTA, it's the best way to do so. Join patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. I want to give a shout out to the new members. We got several in there, and the app acts a little weird on the phone, so I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. But you guys know who you are. Thank you so much for joining the community over there. It's just really, really awesome to see what everybody's building over there. And then, of course, we got the draft coverage and everything like that. So it's going to be a good offseason, man. Appreciate you, boys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you too. Happy Senior Bowl Eve.
Come on now.
That's what I was going to ask you. Jacob actually asked me if we wanted to do a live stream tomorrow, a watch party. You guys think about it, okay? Everybody in the chat, do me a favor. Let me know in the Patreon group. Let me know on Twitter if you're watching. Let me know in the YouTube comments. Would you guys want to hang out and do a watch party for the Senior Bowl? It's tomorrow at like 2 or I think it's like, 1:30 or 2:30 Eastern time, I think it is. Tim, you probably got the time right there, don't you?
I think it's on the ticker. It should be scrolling by on the bottom.
So, suspense is killing me here. So it's already past the spot, hasn't it?
No, it's coming up right now. It should be the first thing, right?
Yeah, probably should.
Yep.
Yeah.
January 31st, Senior Bowl from Mobile, Alabama at 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central.
All right. So let me run it by the wife. You guys see if you're available. Everybody let us know in the comments if you would watch that. J. Cole said, listen, buddy, I ain't doing poopy tomorrow. Why not? So there you go. All right. So we may do that. Keep your ears to the streets on that. All right. Appreciate everybody. Hit that like button. My name's Clayton. That's Tim. That's Emilio. Jacob. Moment of silence for Jacob. You know what I mean, man? Jacob out here.
Tucker is in a better place.
I'm not gonna lie, I was faded. I ain't gonna lie, I was faded. Like,
Hey, you guys leave Jacob alone. He's kicking it with Brenton Cox Jr. at the Oval Office tonight. Happy birthday.
on my knee.
I just imagine the news. Brenton Cox Jr. shreds his knee at the Oval Office, right? Like, don't put that out there, please, for the love of God. All right. So, this show sucks so bad. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
There we go.
Bye, guys.